Bobby Mooney, and I'm a distant ed student at UNCC. I'm going to do my presentation on biomass energy, and I don't have a setup at home to do it and stand up and have like an overhead, so I'm going to do it using Microsoft Encoder, showing my computer screen. Okay. Matter usually thought of as garbage. Some of it is just stuff lying around, like dead trees, tree branches, yard clippings, leftover crops, wood chips, bark, sawdust from lumber mills, and leftover corn. One of the most known uses of corn is ethanol, which is an additive in your gas. Looking at the PowerPoint, we see the combination of sun and rain produce the process of photosynthesis, which grows crops to burn. These materials are turned into biomass wood pellets, and the wood pellets are burnt, releasing CO2 back into the atmosphere, releasing heat as a byproduct. Some of the applications are direct burning, gasification, and biofuels. Uh, Direct burning for domestic heat, as shown in slide 1, this is the most traditional method of burning wood. Gasification is one of the more unpleasant processes, which uses dung or feces. The biomass is heated in an environment where it breaks down into a flammable gas. After the gas is cleaned and filtered, it can then be used as natural gas, usually in a combined cycle turbine. Gasification is a complex process. Another application is biofuels. This category includes any kind of biomass that is converted into liquid fuel primarily for transportation. Most common are ethanol and biodiesel. Ethanol can be produced from food crops such as corn in America. Uh, in Brazil, sugarcane is used, and in Europe, sugar beets are used. Uh, some of the pros and cons of biomass is recycling biomass for fuel and other uses cut down on the need for landfills to hold garbage. Biomass energy reduces waste because it is burned. Using biomass can help reduce global warming when compared to fossil fuels like coal. So using biomass and replanting helps close the carbon dioxide cycle. However, if the crops are not replanted, then biomass can emit carbon dioxide that will contribute toward global warming. And this is because the plants they need carbon dioxide, and if there's no plants replanted, then they don't absorb the carbon dioxide, it stays in the atmosphere. It's truly a renewable fuel, unlike fossil fuels. It's widely available at generally low cost, can be domestically produced for energy independence, unlike, say, for example, a nuclear reactor, which we cannot have in our backyard due to restrictions, and they're very expensive, even if you could have one, which you can't. And once again, it's low carbon, it's much cleaner than fossil fuels. Some of the cons: if the crops are not replanted, then biomass can emit carbon dioxide that will contribute toward global warming, which I explained earlier. It is responsible for many respiratory illnesses and deaths due to smoke inhalations, mainly in third world countries where they use stoves and fireplaces to heat. Uh, Land utilization can be considerable, can lead to deforestation because you have to cut down a lot of the trees in order to burn them. So that clears a lot of land. It requires water to grow, which is a bad thing during a drought, which we just had, so we know all about that. Not totally clean when burned, back to the CO2 and carbon dioxide. May compete directly with food production because it takes up a lot of land. We may need that land to plant other crops for us to eat. Some of these fuels are seasonal because in many regions plants do not grow like they do in the summer, and even during the summer months there's droughts. Heavy feedstocks require energy to transport, like tree logs. It could be argued, though, that in the future many of these same materials burned for biomass energy might be needed for compost, particularly as a production of phosphorus, a key ingredient for fertilizer. But compost is also used for farms so they can plant crops and whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.